Today, we're going to talk to David Schmidt, CEO of Lifewave, and we're going to talk about stem cells. Hi, my name's Troy Landwehr, and I help average people make above average money. And one of the things I love to do is I love to bring people here of influence and talk about something that is a buzzword in the community, a buzzword out there. And it's such a privilege to interview David. And we're going to talk about stem cells. So David, first of all, there's probably people that are like, what is stem cell? What is stem cell therapy? What do stem cells do? And how did you get involved in this? So I know that's a lot, but I think a lot of people are going to be very excited when they hear this interview.
Sure thing, Troy. And first, thank you so much for having me on today. It's really a privilege to be able to get to spend some time with you today. So thank you for that. So what are stem cells? Well, stem cells in their broadest sense are universal cells, and they eventually become every other cell in the body. So your heart was once the tissue in the heart, they were once stem cells. The muscle tissue, they were once stem cells. And what's important here is that as we're looking for ways for people to stay younger longer, or even someday reverse the aging process, we want to look at stem cells because the stem cells age with the rest of the body. And the discovery that we have been exploring is how to make stem cells that are already in your body younger and healthier. So this opens up a tremendous avenue for youth renewal, getting the body to function in a normal, healthy way, and even partially reversing the aging process. So these are all things that exist today.
So let me ask you this. We've heard about stem cell therapy, and there's certainly a cost, and there's been a really, people are living in pain and they have injuries, and they have, as we age, we don't look the same, we don't feel the same. You look in the mirror somewhere around 40, and you're like, hey, I don't look the same, I don't feel the same, I don't recover from the gym. And so, what are primarily some of the reasons why people are looking to add stem cells to their body?
So we started on this project about 12 years ago now. And the stem cell industry at that time, and even today, there hasn't really been a huge success in stem cells because they're still very expensive. There are risks associated with injecting stem cells, and stem cells have not had broad regulatory approval across the globe. So what's the interest here? Well, it's that somebody is, let's say, over the age of 60, as an example, and they have an injury. The function of those stem cells that are already in their body has declined 60 to 80%. So if we could inject young, healthy cells into the body, we could heal that body as if the person was younger. The only problem, again, is because the injections are expensive, they're not approved yet, and they can have side effects. So in other words, the stem cells can attack healthy tissue and cause damage. So the approach that I wanted to investigate was, is it possible to take the stem cells that are already in the body and reset them to a younger, healthier state? The advantage to this would be it's potentially very inexpensive, extremely safe because the stem cells are already in your body, and it would be very, very efficacious. And this could be something that could be made available to everyone. So it took us about 10 years and over $4 million. We worked with the National University of Ireland in Galway at their Regenerative Medicine Institute, which is one of the top 2% centers in the world globally in stem cell research. And as a result of that, we produced this product called X39, and it stimulates the skin with light. This causes an increase in a peptide, which is a signaling molecule for stem cells, and it will reset the genes on stem cells in the body to a more youthful state. And now, even if a person's 50, 60, 70, 80, those stem cells will start functioning like younger cells, and start to repair injury and offer many, many other benefits.
So let's talk about X39 for a minute. It's kind of been your baby, right? And everybody is looking for, it's something, when you talk about skincare, what it's bottle of hope, right? Everyone's trying this product and this product. And, especially the ladies, they want Jesus in a bottle, right?
Right.
And so, but there's, when you look at X39, okay, what type of results are people seeing, and how have you, how do you apply it? And do you have, clinicals on this? Do you have, what type of research do you have on the X39 as well?
Yeah. So I started Lifewave in 2002. So it's 19 years for me. And plus another 3 years prior to forming the company of doing the research. So I'm well into over 20 years working on this at this point. I never thought I would say that, but it's been a pretty long time. So after all that time, we've accumulated over 80 clinical studies. People can go to the science section of our website and look at some of those clinicals. As an example, on X39, we have 9 clinical studies that we've done. The FDA requirement is only 1. And what we want to look at is really understanding how does the product have an impact on the blood, on the urine, on metabolism. We've worked with a nuclear engineer who specializes in brain mapping, and we get extraordinary results in looking at how this improves cognitive function, even in people that are over the age of 70. So, how does this all work? Well, you put the patch on, it will stimulate the skin with light. There's no drugs or chemicals or nutrients that are going into the body. We're just stimulating the skin with light. This will then cause an increase in copper peptide. And this peptide has the ability to activate the body's stem cells. So what are some of the benefits? Well, this improves the metabolism, which we've demonstrated in our urine studies. So that means within the first 24 hours, people feel an improvement in their overall levels of energy. When we are activating stem cells, some of the biochemistry of the body changes. For example, BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, is a control mechanism for stem cells in the brain, and BDNF is controlled by something called GABA. And so we see when we use X39, GABA levels go up. As a result, people get improved levels of sleep their first 24 hours.
What's GABA levels, David? What does that stand for?
So GABA would be something you could find this at a health food store. People take it in a supplement form, and you can think of it as a precursor to melatonin. So GABA is going to put people into a relaxed state, and then serotonin levels and melatonin levels will change.
So this will help somebody sleep.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that copper peptide will do is help manage inflammation. And this is critically important because stem cells are attracted to inflammation. And if there's chronic inflammation in the body, that of course makes it very difficult for people to heal, because stem cells are killed by inflammation, ironically. They're attracted to it and they're killed by it. So if we can manage the inflammation, we have a better chance of healing from injury. So pain relief, pain management is something that people experience with X39. And then, of course, the two big ones are we see dramatic improvements in wound healing, very, very rapid wound healing. And we also see a phenomena called youth renewal, which is healthy people that use the product begin to look and feel younger.
Well, we all want to look and feel better. I read an article, 1 out of 3 people live in pain. And when I was reading that, I said, I don't believe that article. 1 out of 3 people. I don't believe it. I think it's like 3 out of 3 people.
Right.
Who doesn't have something that, like, my back, I'm pretty athletic, my back, and then more and more people aren't sleeping. So when you're talking about a product that helps you rest, helps you recover, helps you sleep, makes you more youthful, but we're all having something wrong with us, whether it's a hand pain or knee pain or back pain. And I think that's one of the things that people Google for stem cells. They're looking to, when you're living in pain, even if you can take, let's just say you're at a level 4, and you can go down to a 2, or you're level 7, even if you go 2, we all want it to go away. But if you can take someone's pain and bring it down a couple of notches, it's like the way they feel is just amazing. I have some back pain, and when days you don't have back pain, it's completely different day, right? So let's talk about the X39 patch. How big is it? Where do you apply it? How do you apply it? How long do you wear it for? How do people administer it? Where's the best place to put it on your body? Or
Yeah, so the patches are pretty small. Let's say they're about the size of a quarter or so, and they resemble a Band-Aid. They're about the size of a round Band-Aid, and you would simply apply it to either behind the neck or below the belly button. The product, it works systemically, so regardless of where you apply it, it's going to work. We found that through our research, and most people are going to apply it in the morning and then remove it at night. So it's a disposable phototherapy product.
Great. And so is this a once a day? You apply just once a day and then remove it and then remove it. So this sounds like a dream come true product, right? Because it does what I like about a product is, I get pill fatigue, okay? And I got so many pills. I was cleaning, I had pills from 2011 and I'm throwing out, and they're all good. Like they're all, I investigated it, right? Like this is the best. But I got pill fatigue. At one point I was taking 20, 30 pills a day. And, somebody doesn't even get past the gut. I know, I understand that. But you do get pill fatigue, so I kind of like something that is light. You can put it on your skin. You don't really notice that it's there. I love that I love that factor. Let me ask you something, Dave. Probably I should have asked you this beforehand. And we've known each other for about 2 years. It's about 2 years we met. And, I fell in love with you because you have a passion for really helping people. And, I noticed that right off, 2 years ago, right off the bat, I said, wow, this guy is very, very knowledgeable. And you care for people. You really, your products have clinicals. Your products are just, really tested and tried and true. And the testimonials are pretty phenomenal. What is your background? Like, why this? What was your background to get into this?
Yeah. So, well, there's a lot of ways to answer that question. I mean, first, I was a good science student in high school. I loved biology, and I was also good at computer science. And my guidance counselor said, well, computers are the future. Maybe you should go in that direction because you're really good at it. And I got 2 years through college with computers and realized that this was not how I wanted to spend my future. So I finished a degree in management information systems, and then I went back to school to get a degree in biology. And I was very fortunate. I went to Pace University in New York, and I made friends with the chairman of the biology department, Bill Ventura. And he was kind enough to donate his lab to me so that I could do cancer research. So I did cancer research for 2 years. And this is kind of relevant because what I was finding was that it was possible to selectively kill different types of cancer cells electromagnetically. You could do it with energy. You didn't have to do it chemically. And this set me on this path of looking at manipulating biology with energy. Of course, Dr. Robert Becker, who is the author of The Body Electric, he was the one that really showed that you could control the chemistry in the body with the electrical properties of the body. So that was some pretty seminal work. But I developed many years later, I had a company and I worked with a group of guys, and we were developing equipment for the U.S. Navy through government contractors like General Dynamics and Newport News Shipbuilding. And I got invited to be part of a design team for one of the Navy's next generation mini subs. And the crew of the subs were Navy SEALs. And we wanted to find a way of improving their survivability. And because I've been interested in health and fitness my whole life, I thought, well, these guys are taking caffeine, they're taking amphetamines to stay awake on some of these long missions. Maybe we could find a way that we could improve their energy without having to use a chemical or a drug. And that's what started me on the path of Lifewave.
Wow, that's a great story. That's a great story. Great credentials. So I'll throw in, I say, you graduated in the top of your class, and I graduated in a class that made the top possible. So for people like you, but you're at a whole new level at the top of the top. And, one of the things I like about there's certain products is your products are a blanket of benefits. You're not just going to get one benefit from it. There's several benefits that arise when you become healthy. There's several benefits when you're adding the right supplementation to the products. What are some of the products that, you have the stem cell, right? And we understand the value, some of the value that, of why people even Google it. People are Googling stem cell therapy like crazy. And if you could get some of these benefits from your products, that's great. What other products does Lifewave have that you're proud of that people are, they depleted or they don't have enough that you recommend?
Yeah, so you actually said something that was really interesting, and that was that our products have multiple benefits. So the very first product that we launched was Lifewave Energy Enhancer, and this is a product that increases fat burning. So the benefits are pretty obvious. It's a way to naturally improve energy through fat burning, and it gives the body constant, stable levels of energy throughout the day. But surprisingly, this product has a very, very powerful anti-aging and longevity effect. What we did was we took people and we put them in a room that was completely dark, and we measured light emission off of their body. And what we found is that using Energy Enhancer puts the body into a state of coherence. So in other words, as we age, the structure of the body changes and we fall out of coherence. It's like, going from a brand new house to an old house, things are broken down. And that's what happens with the human body. But if we can keep the body in coherence, we can repair things, we're not going to age as quickly. So Energy Enhancer, surprisingly, we found over time, had this anti-aging longevity benefit. We've also developed products to manage inflammation in the body, which is, of course, great for people suffering in pain, but also has long-term anti-aging effects. We found ways to, with light, improve athletic performance, detoxify the body, protect the body's cells. We've elevated antioxidants like glutathione. So there's a broad way that we can improve the biochemistry of the body with light.
It's interesting. We're interviewing David Schmidt. He's the CEO and founder of Lifewave, a direct sales company, and with tremendous success, great products. And what's interesting is, so I'm here in Vegas, right? And I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a big gambler. I don't really gamble at all. But one of the things that they have is they have these injections, that people just, they could be healthy and stuff. And one of them is glutathione. I probably say that wrong. Okay. But you're hearing more about that as well. And you have a product that addresses that. What are some of the benefits because people feel great when they get a glutathione injection, they feel phenomenal. So you have that as a patch that is through the light as well that you wear?
Yeah, that's right. So glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. It's a simple tripeptide. And it acts in many, many different functions. So as an antioxidant, it's going to protect the tissues in the body. It will recycle other antioxidants in the body, like vitamin C, coenzyme Q10. It will also act as a chelating agent to pull things like mercury, heavy metals out of the body. So glutathione has been used in hospitals and clinics for decades as a way to treat heavy metal poisoning. So it's incredibly valuable. Glutathione will even protect the DNA from damage. So there's some really interesting studies that show that if the cells are damaged, let's say by ultraviolet energy, if you keep your glutathione levels elevated, it will repair that damage to the DNA before the cells divide. And that way you don't carry that genetic damage over into the next cell division. So the problem, though, is that people aren't going to go to a hospital on a regular basis for an IV of glutathione. Glutathione has a half-life of 7 minutes, meaning that once you get the IV, an hour later, your glutathione levels are more or less back to normal. When you take a glutathione pill, it will take 30 days just to get an increase of 14%. So this incredibly valuable antioxidant, and how long we live, by the way, is connected to our body's levels of glutathione. So this is incredibly valuable. So our approach was, let's elevate glutathione with light. So just like we can elevate vitamin D with light, let's come up with the code, the wavelengths of light that we need to elevate the glutathione. And what we found is that we could do that. And not only that, we could get up to 300% increases in glutathione in the blood within 24 hours. So people, when they start using it, they detoxify right away and they start getting the benefits right away, as opposed to having to wait a month.
Yeah, what's interesting, and these are products that you have clinicals on, that you've had massive studies on. All these products they've been tried and true and tested and proven for a while.
Yeah, that's right. We never will put a product out at market unless we have clinical studies to back up the statements that we make. That's an ethical position that you have to take as a company. And, as the spokesperson for the business, I have to be able to say, well, look, we're making this claim. Here's the evidence. Otherwise, you're just doing a disservice to yourself and others. So yeah, absolutely. Every time we make a statement about our products, we have a clinical study to back it up.
Well, David, you look great. I met you 2 years ago, and you look better now than you did 2 years ago. I think you're getting younger. You're like the Benjamin Button. So,
yes, I turn 58 next month. I set a goal for myself when I turned 54, and I did a push-up challenge, and I did 403 push-ups in 28 minutes. So my goal for 60 is I want to do 600 push-ups in about an hour, and this is just all in thinking. Age does not have to be the death sentence that we make it out to be, meaning we don't have to age as our biological age goes up, right? Or chronological age goes up, I should say. So in other words, we're living in an era where age reversal is becoming practical. The technologies are being developed, and some of them, like X39, are available today. So this means that we get to keep our muscle or bone density, our cognitive function. Our own research and our independent research demonstrates, even for people over the age of 70, you can reverse age-related cognitive decline. You can reverse age-related sarcopenia, muscle loss, and so these things are available to people. So you don't really have to decline in mental or physical performance as you age. You can get better if you want to.
Well, we're gonna leave a link below the video of where you can find more information, or how you can get some of these products and purchase some of these products. And because I'm sure a lot of people, when you watch a video like this, there's like I said, there's so many people that live in pain. There's so many people that are tired. They don't get a full night's sleep. There's so many people that have kids. There's a new way of living here, and they're at home. And who the heck gets 8 hours of sleep? Troy, you need to get 8 hours of sleep. Who gets 8 hours of sleep? But one of the things, I like what I hear about your products is that I think it's so important once you do get to sleep, the little sleep that you might get, it's important to have the right type of sleep, right? And that's important. So any products that can help you sleep in a natural process, eliminate pain. I mean, we just know so many people that have pain. So is the stem cell X39 a real natural way to increase stem cell production? That's what it does? It actually, I wanted to get back here before I let you go, but it actually helps you produce stem cells in your body.
So there's multiple things that are going on here. So the first thing is, everyone has stem cells in their body. And then those stem cells are going to become other cells. They differentiate and they'll become liver cells, kidney cells, muscle cells, etc. And they go through this division. They're going to start out, let's say, as a pluripotent cell. Then they become further differentiated into a multipotent cell, and then finally the highly specialized cell. And what we wanted to do was, first, even if a person was over the age of 50, 60, get that stem cell to function like a younger, healthier cell. That'd be one thing. Second thing is the copper peptide activates what's called the P63 gene, and this is going to increase migration of stem cells. So meaning when a person has an injury, now the stem cells can get to where they're needed to repair the injury. And then lastly, we want to increase the total number of stem cells. This research was first done in Japan, but incredibly what it shows is that you can take the stem cells that are in the skin, you can revert them to a universal pluripotent stem cell, and then the pluripotent stem cell goes into the blood and it goes to where it's needed to heal. So copper peptide does all of those things, meaning you get more stem cells, you get them to go to where they're needed, and then those stem cells are going to act like a younger cell.
Wow, that's fantastic. I mean, that's quite a description here. So what, before I let you go, okay, and we're gonna let everybody know where you can, learn more about David Schmidt, and we'll have it in a heading of where you can go out and learn more about these products and try these products. What is your mission? You got into this, and obviously, I see people in pain all the time, and I see people, we all want to look better, right? And in fact, some people will take the pain in their knee if their skin isn't sagging around their eyes, they'd rather look better.
Right. Yeah.
So if you can get both, that's great. But what is your mission when you started this company, Lifewave? What was your mission to set out for the company?
Yeah, the mission. First, I want to be like you. I want to be a servant leader, right? So both of us are Christians, and regardless of someone's religious beliefs, my attitude about this is, look, we should all be serving others for the greater good. There's a lot of people out there, they're suffering physically, with finances. So many people got hurt because of COVID, and anything that we can do as leaders to be examples to others, to be donating money to help feed people, help people in recovery, have technology that can heal. For me personally, that's what I find rewarding. I want to have the role of a servant. My mission statement for the company has really changed over the years. When I started, I was just an inventor that wanted to find a company to sell this technology. And when I couldn't really find a company that really understood the vision for where this could go, that's how Lifewave started. But now, 20 years later, really the mission of the company is becoming to create technology that offers a healing experience in every different aspect of life. So, for example, when you wake up in the morning, let's say you go have a glass of water. Well, what if that water was embedded with energy, and that could start the process of regeneration and rejuvenation? We have a technoloke that we've developed.
The alarm's going off. New product alert. Yeah. I think we got another product coming. All right, let's talk. Let's keep you on a little longer. Tell me about this.
Well, let's finish the mission statement since you asked.
Okay.
So, so you would have the very water that you're drinking is a healing experience. You go to your kitchen, you want to make breakfast. We have a technology that we developed and patented, and it would be effectively a hydroponic garden, and we can dramatically change the nutrient profiles in fruits and vegetables, and these can trigger healing effects in the human body. So you start out your day with nutrient-rich food, and these support overall healing and regeneration. The process of sleep, when you go to sleep at night, why not incorporate technology into your mattress or your pillow that is going to regenerate and rejuvenate the body? Of course, we have patches that people use today during the day and in the evening that offer a healing experience. So these are just several examples. So basically what our goal over the next 10 years now is to continue to release new stem cell products. We have targeted applications of stem cells, and then we have other technologies that go beyond that. But the ultimate goal is that we want to empower people with these technologies so everything that they're doing contributes to healing and regeneration. And this way, people can have a life without pain, without injury. They can stay young and healthy and vital as long as they wish. And if they're already, 70, 80 years old, they can dramatically improve the quality of their life. So that has very much become our mission statement now.
Wow, this has been great. I know people are going to want to know more. We're gonna let you go, but boy, I tell you what, it's every time I talk to you, and we talk every 3 or 4 months, since we've met 2 years ago.
Right.
I've just enjoyed talking to you so much. You have such, Jesus came to serve, not to be served, and you have such a servant heart. You're really passionate, Dave, about your products, about your company, about the technology and I just enjoyed, every time I get on a Zoom with you or a call, I just can't get enough of you. Like when we talk, I'm like, why did I wait 3 months to talk or 4 months? I don't know how long it goes. And I could see you. People are so addicted to learning from you because there's so much passion in what you do. And you live in the lab too. That's the other thing is it's like every time I talk, you're like always in the lab trying to come up. You're like Charlie Wonka, the Wonka factory. Yeah. You're like, what's he got? What's he working on next? What type of products is he working on next? I can't get enough of you. It's unbelievable. Oh, and so it's great that you have someone in your position that truly cares about people and wants to do the right thing. And in closing, what final things or what final thoughts did I miss in closing that you could?
Well, you said something funny. I think Jesus and God played a little bit of a joke on me because when I was younger, I thought to myself, I was in a prayer group. And I thought to myself, okay, when Jesus was walking around physically on the planet, he was either healing people or feeding people, right? He was also teaching people. Well, those were two of the things. So I thought, well, I don't want to be a farmer. So maybe I'll focus on trying to heal people. And that became my career. So the joke was I invented technology for farming to enrich. So it looks like in a way I'm becoming a farmer, but I'm glad I did the healing part first, right? So, I guess what I would say is first, people should feel empowered and not live in fear. It is really troubling to me that leadership in the country took this path, without naming names. People took the path of putting people into a state of fear over COVID. And why weren't people talking about, hey, 80% of the people that are dying from COVID are dying from a vitamin D deficiency. So why not take a vitamin D supplement? In China and Australia, they're giving IVs of vitamin C as a cure for COVID. That's very well established. So why isn't our government talking about that? We did our own study in New York.
They don't make money on that. They don't make money.
No, but we found, this one last thing. We found that copper, right? Oral copper supplementation is an effective way to prevent the symptoms of COVID. We did a study in New York. We gave doctors and nurses supplemental copper. When they got infected with COVID, they were asymptomatic. They had the infection, didn't even know that they had it. So this is information that, our leadership in government should be talking about. But since they're not, people in our community, we need to be talking about these things so we can empower people so they don't live in a state of fear. And our community needs to be giving people financial opportunities so they can be self-sustaining and be able to provide for their families. So I love the industry. I love what our industry represents, that we can empower people and give them freedom. And it certainly changed my life.
Well, I'll tell you what, you just opened up a whole nother interview. We could talk about that for a week, but I said I'd keep you 30 minutes. I know I have a hard time watching anything for 30 minutes. We're at 33 minutes, I think. Yeah. And but I agree with you of what you said. And if you can make your body more efficient, and healthier, and your body has a miraculous way of healing itself, right? Your body is so powerful. And so if we can add the right regimen of, food and diet and really bring in the right supplementation in the right way, your body responds to things that are very natural and work in harmony with your body, right? And when you have things that work in harmony with your body can do amazing things. And too many times we don't look at that, right? We don't look at that, and maybe there's a money thing play here. That's another conversation for another day. Well, it's probably a lot of people want you to expand on that and say, go ask him the right questions. But we kept you over 30 minutes. Guys, this is great. David, I'd love to have you back. This is fantastic. I can't wait to hear what else you're working on in the future, because I know. I got a little hint. I know you're always working on something. You know, you got one product, you got some products that are great, but you're always working on something. You're trying to improve it or beat it. And so that's what I love getting back to you. And I know the audience here on Time with Troy would love to hear more from you. But his name is David Schmidt, and met him 2 years ago, and he's the CEO and founder of Lifewave. And we're going to have more information on how you can, find him and find his products in the video below. You'll have all the information. And God bless, David. Thank you so much for coming on today. It's much appreciated.
Thank you, Troy. God bless you as well. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, David. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.